Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday, day after Labor Day. Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We are in Frederick, Colorado, just north of Denver, about 30 minutes, and I'm Luke Sullivan. Behind me today, a really unique used trailer. We don't see these very often. We have a lot of customers asking about these, whether they're new or used market, but bear with me for just 1 second. This is a 2017 Transtar with a Proline Conversions, LQ Conversions by Outlaw. So now we know this trailer as a Freedom. In 2020, I believe, was the first model years of the Freedom. So what this is behind me is a toy hauler. We have 14 feet on the short wall inside the garage of storage space. We have 18 feet actually on the long wall. And we've got a lot of different things going on, and everything that we know about Cimarron is still in this trailer behind me. So we'll get into the business end of things really quick. We still are a standard 2 and 5/16 inch gooseneck coupler. We have a lot of adjustment here still in this coupler, a little bit different style than we're using now. Still got heavy duty safety chains, and then we are a 7-pin connection. We do have a breakaway cable over there on the other side as well, but we are your standard 7-pin plug as well. We've got that one plugged in to run some running lights for us, kind of show you what we've got going on. But as we know, with any LQ type trailer in the horse trailer world, this is where a lot of our systems are going to be. This is where we're going to have a lot going on right here. First and foremost, you will notice we are on dual jacks. You have individual control over these jacks too. So we talk a lot about being in an LQ, wanting to be leveled out, just like as if you were in an RV. So you have that ability, obviously, front to back to level yourself out quite a bit, but you can also get quite a bit of side to side too with that dual jack and have an individual control over those. You do always have a fail safe with these jacks. With the equalizer jacks, you have a way to plug in a little car jack handle there, pipe handle, and get the trailer either on or off your truck in any kind of emergency. So we'll talk about running gear when we get back there, but we do have a full-size matching spare here. We are on 17, 8, and 5 wheels and tires, so you get a lot more capacity out these. We are on 8K axles, but again, we'll talk more about those when we get back near our axles. Again, 30-pound oversized propane tanks here, so really nice to be able to run your fridge if you're off-grid, run your furnace. You can run a lot of different functions off of these, and obviously your griddle as well too. So you can have a lot of different uses out of this, and with the 30-pound dual oversized tanks too, you can get a lot more use out of your appliances. And then above that, we've got our battery box. So a couple house batteries, nice to have the dual capacity there. You get a lot more out of your 12-volt accessories inside there, again, if you are boondocking or something like that. And then, as is standard, the locations changed over the years a little bit, but on all of our LQ trailers, especially anything with a 12-volt service, you'll see that battery disconnect switch there as well. So nice to be able to, if you're storing it overnight or if you're storing it for the entire off-season, really, really nice to be able to switch that off and ensure that you're not going to have anything on and come back to dead batteries. So makes a big, big difference. Real small thing too there on the battery box, a couple level bubbles. Nice to be able to see, like I said, when you're up here running that jack, nice to be able to see about where you are and know that you're pretty close to level at least. So let's get into the cool part of this trailer. First and foremost, like we said, we've got 14 feet of garage space on the short wall inside the LQ. I know short wall talk for maybe some toy hauler customers might be a little bit different, not what you're used to, but overall floor length on the trailer is 30 foot 9 inches. So from this gooseneck drop wall to the rear bumper, you've got 30 feet and change, almost 31 feet. And then when we talk about short walls, this trailer was built out with an angled partition between our LQ and our garage, just like we do a lot of our horse trailers. So the short wall obviously implies the shorter of the two sides of that. So inside our LQ, we are 12 foot 9 on that short wall, which is a lot of room once we get inside that you'll see to be very comfortable even without a slide. So nice little screen, still doing the same style screen door, still doing the same flip up style step. There's no hardware for that step. We see a lot of used trailers coming down the road that have a pin or that slide out from underneath, and they all seize up, especially out here on these gravel roads. So just like we're doing on our brand new models, just a little gas shock that holds that up and down for us, and nice to be able to get in there real easily that way. First and foremost, when you step in this trailer, my favorite part about it is this little corner couch. I think it's a really comfy spot to sit. It's really convenient if you are hanging out with friends. Just to take a load off, if you're taking your shoes off, if somebody's hanging out on the couch, it's a really, really convenient spot right in here. Or if you're on your way out for the morning, like I said, depending on what sport you're into, if you're into motocross, if you're into side-by-sides and that kind of stuff, you've got a lot of gear to get on. So that's a great spot to be able to do that. And then ease of access too. A lot of different things going on here, but first and foremost, our generator controls. We are a 2017 trailer here, and I think there's 65 hours, 67 and change on that generator. So very low usage. One reason we do these videos is for you to get around these used trailers and get a really good idea of the condition of them. And I think this one speaks for itself. The exterior we'll get a lot better look at too, but we didn't even acid wash this one when it came in from the customer. So a lot of paperwork still in there. You're going to have all of Outlaw's conversion paperwork, and then a couple blackout screens for the door as well, and then just tons of storage. It's one thing Outlaw really does a nice job with. We've got a couple more cabinets above the foot of the bed, and then obviously at the head of the bed you have those options as well. So nice to be able to have a spot to tuck away some linens, some extra clothes, some of that off-season stuff. If you are hiking up into the mountains or spending some time up there, you need some of that warmer clothing. Nice to be able to have that storage for that. And then big oversized windows. The one big thing you'll notice about the windows, and talk about those on the outside as well too, is they're a different style than you'll see on a lot of our LQs now. They're the old bus style window that half the window opens. You get a big full screen there, and they are framed on the outside. The new style is kind of that frameless look, which we like a lot, but these allow a ton of airflow. And then you've got nice dimming shades or privacy shades, and then you've got a full blackout shade that'll pull down below those as well. And then you'll notice above the bed and at the head of the bed first, you've got a couple outlets up there and your light switch controls. And then above the bed, our AC is ducted throughout the trailer, so you're not going to have hot spots. You're not going to have a spot where it gets real stuffy in the trailer because you're just coming out of the main unit. But you can see you've got 4 vents up there. You've got a couple speakers up there as well. And so that helps out quite a bit. If we turn some lights on, it'll probably help even more for you guys to see it. So nice to have that. Nice to have that central AC moving throughout the trailer, not only in the bedroom, but goes all the way back to the bathroom as well. So more storage above our couch. Really like these no slide trailers because they're as simple as parking. If you want to unhook from your tow rig, you can. If you don't, you don't. But you're set up. You're good to go. There's no extra procedure to get your slide out, get yourself extra level. You are set to go. You can step in here at a truck stop and use your bathroom if you want, or you can come in here and make a quick lunch. So first and foremost, we've got one sleeping area up there obviously as well, but then this couch flips out for us as well as a second spot. So if you've got some friends, if you've got some kids that you want to throw in there for the weekend, nice to be able to do that. And then a 60-gallon fresh water tank underneath that. So not always a 4-season package on these trailers, but with that fresh water inside the trailer, if you're keeping this thing running, if you're keeping it tempered in here, you can certainly flirt with some of those swing seasons of the year and not be so worried about things freezing up on you. So working our way into the kitchen. Nice little covered sink there. Spot to do some dishes. You've got some overhead lighting above that as well, and then a hood light above a vent fan as well if you want to do some cooking on your dual cooktop. And again, just going through the trailer, looking around things, it's gotten a quick detail through our detail shop, but again, we have not taken this to the acid wash. This has been a very well cared for trailer, and the condition of it really, really shows. So double shelf there, and you've got a little lip there on that shelf as well, so you're not going to open this to a bunch of spices or something like that if that's what you're going to keep up there rolling back down on you. And then small microwave as well. And then again, lots of storage, but deeper and deeper drawers as we get farther and farther down. And then a nice cabinet storage under our sink as well. And then Outlaw, this is a Pro Line version of an Outlaw conversion, but they do a really nice job of giving you ease of access to all of your equipment, your pumps, your shut-off valves, and everything else that you've going on. So a couple little control panels here. First and foremost, water heater on and off down below, and pump on and off. And then you can check the condition of your battery and how full all of your tanks are as well. You gray and black, and like I said, you've got a 60-gallon freshwater tank here as well. And then just above that, typical thermostat. Very similar to what you're going to see in your house. You've got a couple different functions for cool or for heat. It's going to kick on your furnace or your AC, and then you've got the gas or the electric option, and you can cycle through that and set a desired temp just like you're in your own house. So it's going to keep it regulated. It's not just going to run full time. You've got an onboard gen with this trailer, so you'll either be running that or you'll need to be hooked up to a 30 amp service to run any kind of AC service on this trailer. So work our way into the bathroom real quick. I will step through the pass-through door because it's going to give us a lot more light, but you'll get to see a lot more going on in here. First and foremost, any Outlaw conversion from their first one until today, what we deliver new off the lot, porcelain toilets. You're not going to find a plastic toilet in any of these. So between all of these hardwoods inside of here, and really just the feel, we get a lot of customers that watch a lot of our videos and see a lot of these trailers, and then once they get hands-on, it's just very surprising how residential the feel is of these trailers. So we've got double poles here for clothes. Obviously we could pull one of those out if we had some long dresses or something that we wanted to hang in there unobstructed, but really nice spot. A lot of people talk about hanging space in these trailers, whether they're horse trailers or the toy hauler, obviously. Really nice to have that option. And then you can see down below, as easy as just pulling up that little access cover, you have access to your water pump. And then we do have a standalone table that will mount into the floor right in front of our couch too. That does make a really nice spot. If you're doing some work, you need a spot to set up somewhere to write, or a laptop to do some work from, or having a little bit of a family dinner on a rainy day or something like that and you're forced to come inside, you have that option as well. So nice full size shower over there, full length mirror here too to help yourself get dressed, and then a nice size vanity. Again, with the slant wall style, a lot of times you'll find this tucked in a lot smaller space. So you've got an extra foot or so here to deal with more than you would typically, and it really pays off. Everybody likes having that extra access and that extra ability to stow some stuff on, and also in this medicine cabinet as well. Each one of those has a little lip on them too. So if you are storing a bunch of toiletries on there, you're not going to come into those dumping out on you as you open them after you've been on the road. And then in a couple nice little spots there below the sink as well. Toilet roll holder there on the door, and then I like the open shelving. Nice spot to put a couple towels, couple washcloths or something like that. So we'll work our way back a little bit. We are ducted AC in here as well. Little bit more storage that we've got going on in here. Nice pantry, multiple shelves in here. And then the bottom quarter of this is going to be our furnace access as well. So it's easy access. It is screwed closed, but easy access in there to service anything, and then tons of storage through the top shelves as well. And then we're a 6 cubic foot fridge here, fridge freezer combo, and this is multi-powered, so can run it off 12 volt, can also run it off of propane service as well. And really, again, I think the fridge is probably a really telltale sign of use and condition of some of these trailers, and this thing's immaculate. It smells pretty new in there still. So nice to have that. Nice to have the dual power too. Again, if you're doing some boondocking, a lot of times these toy haulers are going out to trailheads out in the mountains or something like that, and you're not plugging into a nice 30 amp service with water and etc. So nice to have that. Do have a small head unit down here with a CD player. Bring your old mixes with you if you want, but can run this throughout some speakers that we've got inside the trailer, and then also outside as well. Couple speakers under the awning over here on driver's side, or passenger side, excuse me. You have that option to do as well. And then above that, nice TV as well that we can release and swing out there so you can watch it from bed. Get a nice angle on that as well. nice again for those rainy days where you get stuck inside and you can't be outside, or you've had a long day out on the trails and just trying to relax a little bit before bed. So walking around these LQs, they certainly speak for themselves when you get hands-on with them. I think the Outlaw Conversions haven't changed a bit. This is a 2017 model. The materials in here look terrific. They have held up really well. Obviously, we've said this one's had minimal use, but just getting hands-on with these trailers too makes a big difference. Real hardwoods, the real feel of all of these latches on everything. We're not going to come in here to all of our cabinet doors and all of our stuff down on the floor when we're bouncing down the road. So work our way outside a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about the exterior. We'll talk about some running gear. We're on 8,000 pound axles, like I mentioned, so you've got a lot of room for capacity there, which is going to help you quite a bit. If you are, maybe we talk a lot about side-by-sides and bikes. Maybe you're into bikes or something like that, but plenty of guys are throwing Jeeps in these things too. So if you need a bit of that extra weight carrying capacity, you have it. Let's talk really quick, just a quick disclaimer. Any kind of LQ that you've got running down the road, obviously, we're going to have our awning out here. We're going to want to do some camping out here. Make sure you're aware of where all your exhaust vents are, backside of our furnace and our AC, and then the backside of our furnace over there as well, excuse me. But hot exhaust vents, so make sure whenever you're throwing your fold-out chairs there that you're aware of that. So start closing this guy up real quick. Give you a look as we go along. But what you've got now, your next access door is into your garage space. So bit of an oversized door, really nice to have that. Same fold out step that we've got in here. I'm gonna close this pass through for us real quick. But nice, easy access in here. We are on the slant wall, which you won't see on a lot of toy haulers. Typically you'd have a straight across 90-degree wall there. Obviously kind of birthed from our horse trailer design, and this is one of that early models. So you've got really nice access into here. You've got 14 feet of usable space. We'll talk about that when we get inside, but I think this is a great easy access. Come in here, check on your load, check your straps after you've gone down the road a little bit, and you've got that easy access. Maybe store some of your tire changing equipment here if you ever have a flat on your rig while you're going down the road. And then you will see everything's got some nice door holds on them, and then everything's key to like as well on the trailer. So flap there, and then even our secondary ones that we'll use for the same style paddle latch that we'll use on the rear gate as well are all key to like. So really nice to be able to have that and lock these things up tight and keep all of our stuff secure. So we talked about running gear really quick. We are on 17.5 wheels and tires here. 8K Dexter torsion axles here. So this is not an air ride trailer. This is a torsion ride system, but with the 8K axles and the 17.5s, fills out these fenders really well, and you're going to get the torsion axles have been tuned so much more from where they were in the early days, where they were so stiff when you had an empty trailer bouncing down the road. If you are curious about specs or empty weights, we can certainly get those for you, and then if you're interested in overall design sheets as well, we can talk about those. So full height and full width. We're an 8-foot wide trailer here. Rear ramp with some cable assist. This is still a heavy ramp, but once you get into this and look at the condition of the diamond plate on this ramp and you get inside of the load space, I think that really gives away the condition of the trailer. So still shines back here, still looks really nice, and then everything's pretty clean inside too. A couple little tire prints where they obviously tied down, but fully sealed back here too, so really thick weather stripping down there all the way around the edge of this ramp. So gonna keep this thing really weather tight, and then like I said, we'll close it up and show you the paddle locks on those as well, and that way you can keep things secure inside of them. We've got some control over here of our lights. Flip on, we've got 3 big OptiBrights, same style OptiBrights that we're using today on our trailers. 3 of these in this space. Fully paneled with white in here. You can do some wrenching in here if you need to do some repairs to your rig or something like that. So you have that option. And then I know everybody's gonna ask, and interior or measurement between our fender wells, I just measured it before we went on camera, 74.25 inches. So that's your distance between these wells. That's your fuel tank for your onboard gen over there. So that's the same amount of space. That's what you're working with in between here. And obviously you've got 14 foot of usable space from that rear ramp to this corner right here, which we call the short wall. And then all the way from the rear corner to this front corner is 18 feet. So depending on your usage, obviously a lot of people aren't using this for the everyday kind of stuff. Whatever you're shoving in here, whether it's snowmobiles or motocross bikes, you have a lot of versatility. It's an open cargo trailer. Transtar trailer is what Cimarron now builds as their open cargo trailers, and then the Freedom was morphed from that as a combination with the LQ. And then tie downs on the floor as well. Really like the versatility with those. We kind of a little bit before the airliner track that we have now. If that's something you're looking for, if that's something that would be an add-on that would really seal the deal for this trailer for you, that's something we can always add for you here in our shop too. The airliner track is a nice system, but you've got plenty of tie downs in here as it is already, and really stout too. So standard on Cimarron across the board since day one is the insulated roof panel. So single piece front to back. You're going to get that insulation factor inside of this space as well. So if you are at the track on a hot summer day and you want to pull in here and get a little relief from the shade, and you need to do a little work on your rig or a little tuning or something like that, you can. And then two, if you're running some snowmobiles or some side-by-sides and you get through some mud or some snow and you want to air this thing out as you're running down the road getting home, you can actually pop these same style two-way roof vents that we use in our horse trailers. Really nice way to ventilate things if you were playing in some mud or water or something like that and want some stuff to dry out on your way home. You have that ability too. So unique layout of what we now call a Freedom. Obviously this one's going to be listed as a Transtar on our site, but again, 14 foot of toy hauler capacity, 12 foot 9 inches on the short wall in the LQ. So you've got a lot of versatility with this trailer and really can make it your own and get in a lot of nice places too, tight places with just 30 foot, almost 31 feet of overall floor length. This thing isn't a monster per se. So we'll get this ramp closed back up, give you a peek at the lockable paddle latches. One thing you will also notice too, the whole trailer is still LED lights all the way around. Walk that guy right up. Close these guys up tight, and like we said, everything's key to like, just like on the side passenger doors as well. And then LEDs throughout the trailer. All our marker lights, our tail lights as well. So you're gonna get that low power draw and you're gonna get that great visibility that we get from those LEDs. Power controls for our interior lights and some load lights. And then we've talked really little about it actually, but we do have a 4K awning onboard generator. It's gas. Your fill is just to my left, but this is your easy angle ladder to get up there and service it. So it has a standalone battery. If your house batteries are ever dead, it's still gonna be able to start up on its own and charge away. Good to know too, if it ever happens to have a dead battery, you need to run up there with a jump box or cables to get it started. But that's your access to do any kind of service. It's fully covered up there in its own box, and you've got a nice spot to get up there and kind of a little mezzanine level almost, so to speak. And with the easy angle ladder too, you're not climbing up in a hayloft anymore. Straight up the side of a wall, you've actually got a pretty easy go of it now. And then like we said, we saw that onboard fuel tank, or the cladding around it at least, around 9 to 10 gallons on this trailer specifically, but gonna run your gen for a long time if you got a hot day. Hot weekend out at the track, can run your AC without your systems. Big framed bus windows. This is in our garage area. Obviously, if we're spending a little bit of time in there, we've got two opposing each other. You can get a little bit of a crosswind going, cross ventilation going between there, and keep yourself cool. And then again, like we said, with that insulated roof, that sun's not really gonna do a lot of damage to you in there. 30 amp service on this trailer. Saw the big power cord inside the garage for us. Big tip with these trailers, always make sure your cord will plug in or reach the pedestal before you unhook your tow vehicle. It's a mistake everybody's made at least once, but never more. So a couple more PSAs too. If you're doing a little camping over here, this is the back side of our water heater. So there is going to be some hot exhaust coming out of here. Don't lean into your chairs on that or anything like that. They will melt. City water connection, if you are at a campsite and you have full hookups with power and water at a spigot, that's where you would plug that in, and you would utilize that pressure throughout your trailer instead of your pump. And then you've got just below that some gray and black water tank dumps as well. A couple more of our big windows. I like this big bus window, getting that whole thing open there. If you had a nice day like today, we're only going to be in the mid 80s, I would crack this thing all the way open and just fresh air it and be really, really comfortable in there. And then we talked a lot about our 60-gallon freshwater tank under our couch inside. This is our fill for that as well. So as easy as before you're leaving the house, stick your hose in there, let her fill up, and once it starts to backfill, overflow out the spout, you're full. You've got water for the weekend or whatever you happen to be using it for, or whenever you happen to be using it for. So if you have any questions about this trailer, specifically weights, if you'd like some spec sheets, my email's down below, luke.sullivan@transwest.com, or you can call or text me, 859-509-1282. Again, got some empty weights for you. We can get some tongue weights for you if that's something you're concerned about. And if you really want to reference this trailer, it's a little hard to dig up on our site. Best way is to do it via that stock number right there. We'll get some pictures for you up there real soon. Its stock number is 5U250955. Again, a Cimarron Transtar before the Freedom days. Really nice toy hauler. We don't see these on the used market very often. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. También hablo español. Thanks for your time.